to make someone feel seen, to make someone feel heard and understood and safe, you need to learn how to just communication. In which case it better be a paid one. I don't know. But then also no. Sorry about that. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I have previously talked a lot about relationships and have given you plenty of relationship advice on this channel. Today, in this video, I'm going to be talking about healthy relationship skills, because that's one thing that I never talked about, and I realized that it's actually a really important topic. So let's jump straight to it. Okay, guys, I talked so much about red flags and insecure people and insecurities, and again, more about red flags and stuff like that. I've been like breaking down more red flags for you guys to explain why they are red flags. And I realized that I should probably make a video about healthy relationship skills, because in one of my most recent videos on love bombing, I mentioned that one of the reasons that people might love bomb you is not even necessarily because they have some evil intentions or anything like that, or like even some deep insecurities. They might just lack healthy relationship skills, because because it is skills. It is a skill set. You have to know that from somewhere. You have to acquire that knowledge somehow, right? And not everyone was blessed with a healthy functioning family where you would just like learn these skills through observing a family or like the people surrounding you. It's not available for everybody, unfortunately, but you can still learn. There's still plenty of resources. So let's talk about healthy relationship skills that you need to kind of look out for in other people and see if they have them, but also in yourself. Like, you also have to look at yourself when it comes to these things and see if you lack some of these skills, because if you do, you have got to learn those and get really good at those. So I took plenty of notes. If I'm looking down, once again, I'm looking at the notes. So let's just start from the first point. Honesty and authenticity. So I am talking about healthy relationship skills, but also qualities. It's going to be skills and qualities together, because not all of these things are skills. I just realized that honesty and authenticity are not skills. So we're talking about everything, right? But yes, honesty and authenticity, these are some of the most important things. And here's the thing. When you are dating, when you go on dates with different people and you're having conversations with them, this is a very important thing to pay attention to. Obviously, you cannot always know if someone is lying to you, if they are deceiving you, if they are omitting some things about themselves, but these are the things that you can obviously find out throughout your relationship. And these important things for you also to kind of watch out and look out for in yourself. So if you're thinking that it might be a good idea to try to present your best self, whatever that is, and maybe admit some things about yourself or lie because you think that might be a good thing, like you're still planning to improve yourself and upgrade yourself and whatever else, so it might be a good idea to lie about those things. Don't do that. Here's the thing. If you're looking for a healthy relationship, which I'm assuming you are, you want someone you can be yourself with. That is kind of the point. The point of all of this information I'm going to give you today is so that you are in a happy, healthy relationship where you can be yourself, where you don't have to pretend and play a role. So your relationship is a stable, safe place for you, and not a stage where you're constantly acting and performing and it turns to a job. In which case it better be a paid one. I don't know. But then also no, you guys, I want the best for you. So we're not doing that. Honesty and authenticity. Be yourself. It is okay to be yourself. All right. Someone who will genuinely like you and be attracted to you will appreciate that genuinely, and you really can tell sometimes in other people as well when they are trying to present their best front, or when they're trying to perform, and when they're trying to sort of act. Sometimes you can read that in other people, and that is just, obviously they don't always have bad intentions when it comes to that, but like it also speaks about their confidence levels, right? And I'm just saying, be yourself, okay? Let's move on. Number 2, one of the most important things is communication. I talk about beauty and I talk about confidence and well-being and stuff like that, and like the brain. Communication is another thing that I'm really passionate about, actually. I can talk about communication forever, genuinely, but communication is one of the most important skills you can have as a person in pretty much any professional sphere, in any area, and also in relationships of any kind. All right? And communication in this case means being able to translate your goals, your desires, your expectations, your intentions, I don't know, and combining the first 2 points together is you have to be authentically yourself and communicate your needs and your desires, expectations from the relationships, expectations from your partner, all of these things. Honesty and communication. It's not helpful to hold on to like grudges and be passive aggressive as a result of that. If you are upset with someone, it is the right thing to do to communicate that in a peaceful way. As per usual, I'm going to link a playlist of the videos that I made on emotional processing, on how to process your emotions ethically and ecologically. I made a bunch of videos on different emotions, how to express them ethically and ecologically, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. I'm going to leave them down below. Please go check them out because they're comprehensive and there's a lot of really good information. And communicating your emotions and how you feel is one of the best skills that you can learn, especially in a long-term relationship as well. In any kind of long-term relationship, be it friendship, be it marriage, be it a business partnership, anything at all. So yes, if you are upset with something, you have to be able to communicate it with your partner. If you are displeased with something, if you are, listen, any kind of uncomfortable feelings you have, or even comfortable ones, any dreams you have, anything at all, you should be able to communicate with your partner, because that will eliminate so many problems going forward. You will not be fighting about things that you have been sitting on for years, because you just talk about these things as they happen and you solve your problems before they become bigger, just to avoid the snowball effect. Just communication. Listening. Listening is the next skill. So yes, communication. Now we have listening. Yes, it is a really important one. And I also made a note to myself: without an ego. That is, I just made a little note to myself to tell you guys about that as well. You need to be able to listen to another person without inserting yourself in there. Hello, Leos. I have a Leo in my big 3, so that's not meant to be an insult to you guys, but still. You need to learn how to listen to other people without talking about yourself, without making it about yourself, without interrupting. Listening is also one of the most important skills in all relationships. To make someone feel seen, to make someone feel heard and understood and safe, you need to learn how to just and be fully present and actually listen. And when I say that, I mean it, like actually focus on what the other person is telling you. You don't always have to comment. Sometimes the situation just requires from you to just sit and give another person your full attention, your ears, and a safe space. That's going to be massively helpful. Okay? Do not jump to judging another person, making assumptions, trying to lecture them, trying to educate them, whatever it is. When someone is coming to you with a problem, when someone is coming to you and talking to you about something, you should be able to give them space. So, obviously, everything is very circumstantial, but generally, that's a very important skill to acquire, and to watch out in another person as well. Like, you want another person to be able to listen to you and give you their undivided attention. I love that. Accept that another person is not perfect. That is also one of the fundamental things. You have to accept that people are imperfect beings. People make mistakes. We're not talking about any major things like crimes and cheating here. We're just talking about general things. People are people. They are imperfect. You really have to accept that and make peace with that. You cannot expect another person to always perform perfectly for you, because again, you don't want anyone to be performing for you, because you probably don't want to be performing yourself. You want another person to be able to be authentic with you and honest. Going back to the first point, right? So accept that people are imperfect and just allow them to be. Because once again, especially in long-term relationships, that is a major thing, to preserve your peace and love as well. Now, accept that you are imperfect, and that is okay. Actually, if you accept your own imperfections and that you are an imperfect person, it will be so much easier for you to see other people without so much judgment, because you will just understand that. When people put judgments on themselves regarding their own issues with perfection and being perfect and doing everything right, they become impossible to be around, and they will criticize and judge everybody around them for the smallest things. I will link the video on shadow work for you too, because that is obviously very, very connected and related to that. Please go check the video out. It's really, really good. People project a lot. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, learn to forgive and learn to forgive yourself. Learn to forgive. That is a really important point. Once again, I just want to make a point that we are not talking about any crimes here. We're not talking we're not talking about anything major. We're not talking about someone crossing your boundaries in a very, unacceptable way. We're not talking about any critical things here right now. We're just generally, broadly speaking here. Learning to forgive. Again, this is something you want to look out for in another person, and something you want to have yourself as well. You need to be, learning to forgive and move on. Forgive, learn from the situation and move on is exceptionally important. And if you are someone who has an anxious attachment style, abandonment wounds, anything generally like anxiety and depression, and if you're someone who's very self-critical and maybe struggles with self-worth and self-image and stuff like that, listen, you have to learn to forgive yourself. This is going to be fundamental for you. Genuinely, I'm not even exaggerating, but you have to learn to forgive yourself. If you know that you are at fault and you did something wrong, you should be able to communicate that to another person and apologize to them. You really need to learn how to make peace with that if you want to, keep that relationship. You have got to have that honesty and be able to communicate that with another person so you can move forward from that. But after the person, accepted your apology, forgave you, it can be hard sometimes to move on without that like internal guilt just eating you alive. And that's very dangerous as well. So you have to learn how to forgive yourself and how to be compassionate to yourself and how to be kind to yourself. Because your relationship with yourself has a huge impact on all the other relationships you have in your life. And other relationships you have with other people mirror your relationship with yourself. So please be self-compassionate and kind and learn to forgive yourself. Okay, allow another person plenty of room to breathe. Give another person space. And once again, you want another person to do the same for you. You do not want someone who is just like at your throat at all times, just always there. You're seeing each other every single day. You are always together, spending all the time together. Listen, if someone is doing these things to you, this could be indicative of love bombing. Please go check out my video on love bombing and why it's a red flag. It's very important, why it's not romantic and why it's actually potentially quite dangerous. But yes, you want to, allow space for another person. You want to allow room for air. So you have time to miss each other. That is very important, especially in the beginning of a relationship, and that is going to give you a really good foundation moving on to the next stages of your relationship. And another person, once again, should also respect that and give you space as well and not see you as their property. Yes. Okay, so this next point is directly tied to the previous one. Give the relationship time to develop. Don't rush any milestones. Don't rush another person into anything. Give the relationship time to develop. Relationships that are stable, that are healthy, usually need a lot of time. Well, a lot of time. That's subjective, of course, but they need time to develop. If someone is confessing their love to you on the second date or proposing on the third, if you're talking about marriage within the first month, I don't know. Listen, if you're moving in 2 weeks, all of these things, again, check out the video on love bombing, okay? And just generally a video on red flags. Healthy relationships take time to develop. I keep talking about how it takes time for someone to get to know you and to learn you, and also time to show you who they are, so that you both have time to get to know each other and like form feelings. So the feelings have time to develop. You know what I mean? Because love is also something that is, you can have an attraction for someone quickly, you can have a crush on someone very quickly, it can be lust purely, really, but love is something that takes a lot of time to develop. And the people who are able to talk about real love are the people who have been together for a really, really long time, and they have been, choosing each other through all the conflicts, all the problems. They have been resolving the situations. They have been talking, communicating, all this stuff. And here's the thing. If you think that certain things should be already happening in your relationship and they're not happening yet, for example, you want to hear the other person to say they love you, or that they want to make a declaration to you that you are exclusive now, or something else, I don't know, and it has already been, let's say a few months, okay? You might want to just have a conversation with them, peacefully, calmly. You just might want to clear the air and just have a conversation about that. If another person is not able to have a conversation with you about serious things, address something that worries you, that's not the person for you. You cannot make excuses for them. Go back to the point number 2, communication. Another person should be also be able and willing to communicate with you and meet your needs. But also your needs should you should be able to meet each other's needs, basically, is what I'm saying. That is the perfect match, really. Yeah, it doesn't take a match made in heaven kind of spiritual type of connection, twin flame, whatever else. It's not really. It's really just about skills and compassion and empathy. You know what I mean? And also be able to see if this is the right person for you, because if they are consistently not meeting your needs and lacking these skills to begin with and not willing to learn them and improve, that's not the person for you, basically. So you know what I mean? Sorry about that. Now, that's another point, is also very important, especially in long-term relationships. Have your own life and have your own goals. That is not so much about skills at this point. This is more of a, I don't know, common sense, which is not so common, but still, you have got to have your life to prevent yourself from merging with another person and losing yourself in a relationship and losing your own identity. You know, you should never tie yourself to another person completely and completely associating your self-worth and self-image, you know, and your confidence with that other person, you know, so that that person has full control and can like just take that away from you. So yes, have your own life, have your own hobbies, make time to spend time with yourself, make time to do something that is just for you and not for the other person, not for you two together, not for your family, but just for you. Even if it's just a little bit of time, do that. Do that. It's also good for your mental health. And another person should also operate the same way. They should also have their own hobbies and have their own life and have something else going on for them. So it is not the case that the only thing you two have is just like each other. And let's say your relationship, that it's not like the only glue holding you together, that you have other things that you can like discuss with each other, you can teach each other some things, maybe like share some interesting news. That is just important for your own personality, and especially for women I feel like that's a very important thing, because sometimes women tend to completely abandon their lives after getting into relationships and after getting married, after having kids. It's very easy for us to completely, you know, get dissolved in the relationship. Please do not do that. Please do not lose your identity, and stay loyal to yourself as well. And this last point for this video is going to be have common goals. Once again, it's very important for you guys to have common goals and to have something else to look forward to have your goals aligned, basically, so that you're not just completely, you know, separate people who have completely separate goals and you're just living together. I think that could be the case maybe for some people, but it is important for you guys to thrive together in a relationship, to also have, you know, some common goals so that your vision for the future aligns, so your vision of a relationship aligns. And these are some of the things that you can discuss in your first dates, so without putting too much pressure, making it sort of easy and flirty. And yeah, anyways, you guys, I don't want to make this video too long. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you liked it, and I really hope you found it helpful. Please like this video, share it with anyone who you think would benefit from it, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to support me, you guys, which I would really appreciate. Please leave me a comment. That is really, really important for the development of my channel. Please leave a comment. I'm asking you guys, please help me. And if you have any other video suggestions or questions for me, you want me to talk about something else, please leave it in the comments down below. You can also contact me on other social media or send me an email. I don't know. That's also an option. But anyways, thank you very much, you guys, once again, and I will see you in the next one.